Hi folks, this is Uğur Akıncı. Welcome to Difficult Words in English. English can be a pretty tricky language to master. And here are some of these words that we should pay attention to. Let's start with momentarily versus in a moment. This is one of my pet peeves, so to speak, because momentarily, in my opinion, is almost always in the media not used correctly. Momentarily is about duration, how long an event will last. It's the answer to the question for how long. Whereas in a moment is the answer to the question when. It talks about an event that is about to happen. So when the pilot says the plane will land momentarily, I think he or she is misusing it, because that means as soon as we land, we'll take off again. The landing will last for only a moment, right? That's what the adverb means, momentarily. Whereas I think the pilot is trying to say the plane will land in a moment, which means we will land soon. Another difficult word, continuously versus continually. Now, continuously means without interruption. It just keeps going. Continually, on the other hand, means something happening periodically. It starts, stops, and it starts again at frequent intervals. So in that sense, the baby cried continuously means the baby cried non-stop. It didn't stop at all. But when we say the baby cried continually, we are trying to say the baby frequently cried, stopped, and started to cry again, stopped, cried again. It did it continually. Majority versus most. Majority assumes the existence of a minority, whereas most simply means more than 50%. So, as writers, we shouldn't confuse the two. The majority agreed with the decision means there was a minority that did not, right? But when I want to say most of the time I sleep, why should I say majority of times I sleep? It really doesn't make sense, because the concept of time does not have minority built into it. Farther versus further is another tricky distinction. Now, farther is for physical distance, whereas further means an additional degree or amount of something. You are doing something and doing a little more, and that's further. For example, with further effort, a little more additional effort, she ran farther. She went a longer distance. But further can also be a verb, right? He lied to further his career, to advance his career. And fewer, smaller, less. I used to have a hard time when I was first learning English with these three. Fewer is for countable items, the items that you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smaller is used to describe the size of an item or group of items. Less, on the other hand, is for things, for amounts that cannot really be counted. Like you cannot count the water drops, or you cannot count your feelings. That sort of a concept. For example, with fewer members, number of members are few, we had smaller groups. That's a correct way to use it. Or I was earning less. but had fewer arguments at home. You don't say, I was earning a few or smaller, but had lesser arguments at home. See you in the next video. Take good care.